said, I'm me, there's no one like me. Trying, deep down you trying. What's up, what's up, what's up? It's Paris Hart and Jason Williams coming at you live for another episode of Love With Podcast. You know, some people say that they like rock and some people say that they know the genre, but do you really know good rock music if you don't know who Julia Lauren is?
Oh, you're so sweet.
With that being said, today we have Julia Lauren of the Foxies joining us. So how are you doing, Julia?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. Just had some chicken noodle soup and I'm hanging.
All right, chicken noodle soup for the soul. I like that.
I need it.
So how did you come about finding the Foxies and really finding your way into music?
Well, ever since I was a kid, like when I was 2 years old, I fell in love with music because my dad and mom would always have old MTV music videos playing, and I was just obsessed. And I remember seeing Billy Idol, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I just thought he was so cool. And then fast forward to when I was 10, I saw Green Day for the first time, and it kind of clicked for me. Like I saw that Billy Joe Armstrong and the rest of the guys, Mike Dirnt and Trey Cool, that they were doing what they loved every single day of their lives. And they were selling out arenas. And I was like, if they could do it, I mean, a girl like me could. And I'm thinking that at the age of 10. So still trying to get to the arena part, but we're getting close. And, then I started my first band, and I started my first band at 13. And then I moved to Brooklyn, then did Phoenix, and that's where I started the Foxies in 2014. But it was kind of like a solo project, I was just trying to find band members, and I knew that I wasn't going to be there forever. Then I up and moved to Nashville and found Jake, our guitarist, and then Rob was at a show that we were playing, and he was like, "Your drummer sucks. Let me be your drummer." And I was like, "Sick. You're our drummer." So that's how it happened.
Well, rest in peace to that other drummer. So when it came to not so much crafting your sound, but adding people to your sound vision and your artistry, what was something that you looked for in them, or what clicked for you? Like, yeah, you.
Oh man, I think I told myself that I had to stop being so picky, which was a really big thing, because if I hear something, and like if I'm writing a song, I'm very, very, very dead set on how I know it should sound, or like how I know like the tone of something should be. So trying to find members, I was very, very picky. I was like, nah, that guitarist isn't gonna cut it, or this drummer isn't gonna cut it. And I had to do with what I had to do, because I mean, I didn't really have many members to choose from or many musicians to choose from in Phoenix.
Right.
And then you move to Nashville, home of musicians, and our guitarist, Jake, he was the first guy that actually kind of helped fill in. And at first I was like, man, I don't think he's gonna stick around for a while, just because I don't think this is his vibe. He's got an Americana background. But then I noticed that he so badly we so badly loved playing on stage with each other. And I saw that dude worked and works so hard that I was like, oh shit. And then one day I woke up and he just nailed all the tones. He gets it, and he is part of the Foxies that if he was gone, we wouldn't be the Foxies. So yeah.
And that synergy was there.
Yeah, it really was. And then Rob's just a beast on the drums. So anybody that has him is very, very blessed and lucky. And I'm like, I hope you know that we're going to be playing in a band together till you die. So don't cheat on me.
or die.
Or die. Shit. Don't fucking die.
What a command.
Man, yeah.
How important would you say that having people that are not only skillful but work hard are around you and like match your skill and work ethic?
Well, it's like, it's kind of the same thing as like you want to surround yourself with people that make you better and make you happy and bring the best out of you. And it's the same with being in a band. You want to surround yourself with musicians that not only work hard, but that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself and believe in the music as much as you do. And I think that like, yeah, of course we fight like siblings, but it's because we are, you know, and we want what's best for the band. And um, yeah, I mean, they constantly keep me motivated, and everybody is really, really like they've got their lane. Like Jake is amazing at songwriting and turning songs into our publishing company and following up with, you know, how the song should be, how they should be mixed. Rob is amazing at making sure that our live show runs smoothly. He also does a lot of our content and he builds our content. And I kind of start with the vision and I'll start with a title and we all just go from there. So we all work very well together. It's a nice polyamorous family.
Yeah, you guys definitely have great strengths. And you know what I noticed about the Foxies, at least from like your description of them, it's like you when artists come into the industry or into the field, they have to do all these things. They have to learn how to I need to learn my stage presence. I need to learn how to talk to publishing. I need to learn how to do these things. And it's like for you guys, it's just like, okay, we have people who are great at these things, so we're just gonna equally rely on each other. It's like a nice little trinity of great music. So
Thank
definitely shout out to
you.
you all.
Thanks. That means a lot.
So how did you come up with the name Foxies?
Oh gosh. Okay, it's kind of embarrassing, but I started the band before we had a name and I had the music. And I was like, ooh, Body Talk would be a cool band name. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, Body Talk. I was like, no, no. But I would have taken that name to the grave at the age of 22. I was like, this is my shit. Love this. And then my manager at the time was like, I think you could probably find something better. And I looked through my Spotify and I saw a song called Foxies or a band Foxing, but they had a really cool song. And I was like, man, the Foxing is so cool. And I was like, the Foxing, Foxies. Yeah, there we go. So,
Now we're cool.
yeah, now we have been dubbed cool.
For Foxies, you really don't know what you're getting. It's like, the Foxy could be this type of music or that type of music. And then when you listen, it still doesn't help you. I feel like your music can't be put in a genre. Some people might say alternative, some people might say God, some people might say it's hard. So what if you had to, would you put it yours or do you think it just varies on how you're feeling?
You know, I've tried to answer this question so many times and we just try to coin it as glitter punk, but it's just kind of like we kind of stop trying to put ourselves in a lane because I feel like when you put yourself in a lane, you almost feel trapped to make that certain music. And what if you don't want to do it that day, you know? So the best advice that I've had ever been given and that I still try to do to this day to write for the Foxies is just to like write authentically what you just want to write. You know, write what you want to write, build it in the studio with the tones that you like, with the sounds that you like, and then once you get all of that, that's your genre, whatever the genre may be.
The genre is authentic. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you. I try to be super authentic sometimes. Most of the time I try. But sometimes there are times when I'm like, God, this is forced too hard. I can't do this anymore.
That's just part of the authenticity, knowing when you're in and out, knowing when you're on the way.
Right? That is so true. Damn.
When it comes to your creative process, right now, there's three of you. You touched on that a bit earlier, but you know, when you're writing or when the songs come together, what's that process like for you guys?
So Rob isn't in the writing sessions just because he's really good at building the sets. It's mainly just me and Jake. We're the ones that are signed to Roundhill Publishing, and we usually either show up to the writing session or it'll be like a Zoom writing session. One of us will have a song title idea. We'll kind of build off of that. It'll start with the title and then it'll kind of be like, okay, well, I kind of want something shoegazy, like shoegaze pop today. Or Jake will be like, what if we do something funky and dark? He's usually on the funky dark side. I'm on like the shoegaze 90s washout sound. And then we just end up creating. And if we've noticed that like if we're forcing a song, if if we spend more than 3 hours on something, it's probably not going to be anything, and it's just going to go straight up to Sound Mountain or Song Mountain, because like we just it's not authentic anymore, you know. um a good song writes itself, and we try to remind ourselves that every session that we're in.
Knowing how you guys make music and knowing how your sound works, and honestly, the fact that some songs have to go up to Song Mountain, I love that phrase, is just it's just part of the process. And I feel like a lot of people and our listeners should definitely take away that you're gonna have some great sessions, you're gonna have some not okay sessions, but that's just part of the process. Being authentic, making good music comes with the good music making process, which includes some bad music, or at
You
least you
have
didn't
to.
like.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And the biggest thing that, songwriters, that we all tend to forget and that we need to remind ourselves is that you gotta have bad writing sessions and you gotta write shit songs to have really good ones. It's just part of the process.
Facts. And as you grow and get your sound, like which songs are like, okay, we're releasing this one, we're not releasing this one. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of, I know me and Jason have a lot of artists that hit us up like, okay, what should we do? What should we do? And thank you for just making the point of not every song is releasable. You should have that catalog of, okay, this song, we sent the Song Mountain, but there were some good characteristics in it. Let's go listen to it. Let's
Yeah.
see what we liked about it, and then kind of add it to this song or do that. Just like piggybacking off of Jason, we just praise genuineness.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's true. Like, people think that being an artist is like you wake up and you're one. It's doesn't work that way. You gotta truly work for it. If your passion is that strong, you will want to work for it. And that's the biggest thing.
We know that you performed at a lot of festivals. Would you prefer performing or writing more?
Oh, performing all the way. It's so funny because I never wanted to be titled as a songwriter. Never. I was like, I'm an artist, I'm in a band, I'm a singer, and I write my shit. That's what I wanted to be seen as. But our A&R guy at Round Hill, he found us 3 years ago, and he's just like, your all's music is amazing. And I never thought that I was a good songwriter. I still, up until this day, am just kind of like, am I? And he saw something in me and in Jake that I never ever thought that I had. Um, and so basically I was kind of put into this role, and started to assume this new position, assume the position of songwriter. And that's kind of what I was doing, and now it's like it goes hand in hand. If you want to be an artist and an authentic one, you got to write your shit. And if you don't, that's cool. You don't have to. Um, but that's what I prefer.
And we live in the day and age where if you don't write, we could tell. I feel like if you could tell, you write your music because you have the soul in it when you're singing it. And when you're in the studio doing those things, it's like that emotional bond that you have to the piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
And genuineness is key.
Oh my God. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Cause like that's another thing I always tell people. I'm like, man, you can tell when an artist isn't genuine, or when an artist is just trying to connect to the words that were written that day or whatever. I mean, you can easily tell. And the best songs are the ones that come from a very, very vulnerable state. And the only way that you can create it is if you're vulnerable. So
Well, definitely being in that vulnerable state and then showing that state in your performances on stage. What was the beginning of your performance career like? How were the butterflies in your body? Were you nervous? Were you on it already?
It's so funny. I never dealt with stage fright, and I think it's because I did my first talent show at the age of 8 at my school, and there is VHS of this. My grandparents are sitting there, my parents are sitting there, they're all sitting there, and I'm singing some song by Michelle Branch. I can't remember what it's called. But I was supposed to start, and as soon as that measure when I was supposed to start, my grandpa says, "Go, Julia!" And it completely threw me off guard. And I was freaking out. Like I was standing there like, oh, and then I just picked up where I was supposed to sing somehow, just sang the next line when I was supposed to. And I was like, oh, this is simple. And ever since then, I've just been hooked.
Yeah, shout out to childhood motivation for keeping our dreams alive, right?
Yes.
Inner child is alive. I love it.
God, so true.
So we know that you touched in on being with a publishing company, and we have a whole bunch of artists that really say both sides of the coin, saying, I hate working with just anybody, a publishing, a label, because they take creativity. And there's some people that say, I love it. Without my team, I don't know where I'd be. So how do you kind of feel about that?
Honestly, I mean, it could go, like you said, it could go both ways. And I have been in the position where I've been the one where it's been like, I hate working with this team, don't like it. I need something else to fulfill me. But thankfully, with the Foxies, we've been through a lot of shit. We've dealt with a lot of shit, but our team has always understood us, and they have never taken the creativity away from us, which is really, really good. And I think that's when you know that you got something really special. Our A&R publishing dude, Bob, he Bob, he literally, what's cool about him is he loved the music before we started working with him. And he made sure that he makes sure that he puts us in rights with people that are not only going to help us as artists, but also help us network too. Maybe a band that we could tour with one day, or a band that knows of a band that we could tour with, vice versa, whatever. He's very, very, very amazing with thinking like an artist. He is. And then, it's just like the biggest thing is when people say that they don't like their team or they don't like their label that they're in, it's probably just because they thought that person was their champion, and it turned out that person wasn't. And thankfully, we've been very, very nitpicky about picking our team. We're like, we want a team of champions, and if we don't have champions, we don't fucking want it. So.
All right. Well, you have your team of champions on your music side, professional side. Shout out to you guys. Yes. What about in your personal social life? Have you found the support for doing music coming easily, meeting people, or you're like, hey, I'm an artist, I do this? What's that kind of lifestyle for you like?
My family is my number one fans and my biggest support. Like my dad, he was in bands, or he was in a band when I was growing up. And he is always in the front whenever we're playing, just constantly like dancing in the front. My mom's there, my brothers are there, and it's really amazing. But in high school, when you're growing up and you're trying to fit in, but you really want to be in a band, it's a very, very difficult thing because you don't know how to do both. And I started cheerleading in high school, like freshman year. I got on the cheer team because I just want to be popular. I was just like, I just want to be popular. I want to go to high school games and parties and all that. I never went to a party, didn't want it. I was like, but I want to go to games. And then I realized, I was like, this is not fulfilling me. This is fun, but it's not fulfilling me. I need to start a band. And as soon as I started getting more serious about that, I also started doing theater at my school. And my biggest, my favorite teacher, Mr. Sims, I remember asking him, I was like, what would you do? Would you go to college or would you continue music if you were me? And he was like, go to college. And I was like, I was so hurt by that because I didn't want to hear that. And I was like, man, Mr. Sims, everything that you have said, I respect you so much for, but I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. And I didn't go to college. I did music. I traveled the United States. I did X Factor right after high school when I was 18. And yeah, now it's like, now I know why I didn't go to college. This is why. And I'm not saying college is bad. College is good.
And really, like you touched on this earlier, networking. The networking is really what college is about. Like most grades, most colleges offer the same classes, and if you graduate, you get the same degree. But really, the networking in college, I think, is underutilized. So it really makes college less effective. And like you touched on earlier, networking with your team that really means more than college in your respective field.
Oh yeah. And I do like there's a part of me that's like, man, would have been so cool if I went to college. But then I was like, but would I be where I'm at right now? Would I be having this like cool story that's in the making? I don't think it would be the exact same. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like each and every one of us are kind of destined for a little bit of greatness in our life, right? It's gonna come across us eventually. And college might have pushed it forward or pushed it back. Regardless, me and Paris are not we're not split on it, but we went to the same college.
You guys are both rock stars. I love you all already.
Thank you. That's why we're here, for the love of it. We all love each other. We're not doing
Yes.
a podcast of love.
Yes.
Is really just destined. Whatever you care about, it doesn't matter. Because when you're an artist, it doesn't matter about the money. It's just about the love of it. So it's really just about finding something you care about and going 110%. And if college helps you along the way, then take that route. But if it doesn't, and there's something else you care about, then pursue that. Because you shouldn't find a job, a career. You should find a purpose in life.
Yes, that is so true. And if you've got a passion, work for it. Like that's the biggest thing. If people tell you not to, tune them out. Tune them out.
Oh, 100%. Anytime I see somebody starting up a new project, starting up a new career, they're releasing music on their Instagram for the first time, you have my full support. I'm always willing to give support. Support is free, right? And seeing people follow their dreams, follow their passion, that's just kind of what we're in it for. So if you're listening to this and you're double questioning, should I go for it? The answer is always yes. How should you go for it? With the plan. Always have a plan. Speaking of plan, what's kind of your plan for going into your career? Do you have a set level where you're like, I want to do that for sure eventually?
When I was younger, and it's been the same every single year, I want to sell out Wembley Stadium. Like that's my biggest dream, and that's and it's funny because it was never specifically Wembley Stadium. It was always just like, I just want to sell out the biggest place in the world. And somebody said Wembley Stadium, and one of my band members forever ago, and I was like, oh, I'll stick with that. Okay, Wembley Stadium. But I want a stadium, and I getting on more of a deeper note of that though. I think that music and art in general is just a universal language. You can see people from every walk of life, any country, can join together at a show. They don't have to speak the same language, but for that hour, for that 30 minutes during that band set or that artist set, they are all speaking one language. And I truly, truly, truly want to be able to have that impact on people one day, because I want them to feel that we are all connected. Even if we don't feel like it every single day of our lives, I want them to be in a safe space where they truly, truly feel that they are safe and they are connected here. We are all one, because we are. And if they don't feel like that in their regular lives, frick yeah, I'm gonna give that to them for a show, hell yeah, we are all the same. Come here. Come to mama. That's how I feel.
No, it's so true. You're able to, the fact that people are able to connect to the same emotions across any language, so across any culture. Everybody has sadness. It may not be from the same things or the same picture of sadness, but everybody has happiness. Everybody has all the base emotions. So it's just let's all just be emotional and vulnerable and enjoy this music. And I feel like that's the greatest vibe any show, any festival can have.
Let's all be emo together.
Let's all do a little cry.
Let's cry. Seriously. It's so strong when that happens, when you can just unite each other, just even if it's for an hour, everything else away, everything else going on in your life just stops and you're all just one.
Do you have any favorite shows that come to mind, or any type of performance that was just yeah, that was a great experience, I could live that forever? Or something that really just stuck out for you?
Definitely the first Green Day show when I was 10 years old. Mainly because my dad, he would take me to all the Green Day shows in the area where we lived in Charlotte. And if they were in Raleigh playing in Charlotte, we would go. And the first one was just so transforming for me and transcendental. Transcendental, is that the right word? Don't know. I should know, but I know. transcendent. It was a very awesome show. I was in another world. I was in space. I literally was like, whoa, like this is mind blowing. This is the most amazing thing. And I will remember this forever because of the way that he talked to the crowd, the way that they performed, the way that he literally got crowd participation. It was amazing. And even though that was forever ago, I mean, that's still the one that sticks in my mind the most when I think of that.
What do you have planned for 2022? We saw that you dropped the song October 2021, but what's new for 2022?
So we just got done recording 9 songs. So we had a huge snowstorm in Nashville, and we were like, well, guess we're just gonna go to the studio and record 9 songs. So we recorded 9 songs, and we're gonna be releasing a single here soon. Not sure when, but if it's gonna be an album or an EP, not quite sure either. But for those 9 songs, we're also doing little music video things for them on the 22nd of this month of February. So we got 9 songs ready to show the world and to show space, but yeah, just kind of depending on when we're gonna release them.
Right. 9 songs and some visuals to go along with it. You guys definitely have to check out their visuals on all their social medias, which are, by the way, where can our listeners find you on the socials?
On the socials, we got Instagram, TikTok. Instagram's at the Foxies. TikTok, I believe, is at the Foxies Music, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. YouTube, Twitter, which we don't really use sometimes, unless the only tweet that we've really tweeted was when I was lost in Walmart, and that was forever ago. So
Shout out to Twitter.
Shout out to Twitter. But yeah, I mean, if you just search the Foxies, Foxies, you could literally find anything, anywhere.
Bet that. And to all the listeners out there, if you want to see some dope visuals, if you want to see some dope music or hear some dope music, you know where to check out the Foxies.
Thanks, guys. This is Julia Lauren from the Foxies. Thank you, Paris. Thank you, Jason. And you are listening to the Love of It podcast.